AJA Video Systems, proud supporter of Just Seen It, offers a wide range of professional acquisition and post-production solutions. Learn more at aja.com/PTV. Mr. Peabody is responsible for some of the greatest inventions of the 20th century. He uses his time machine to teach his adopted son, Sherman, about history.
Why are you two dressed like ancient Greeks?
I lost her in ancient Egypt. And I got engaged to King Tut. Then we ran out of gas. In ancient Troy.
You used the way back!
But when the space-time continuum is altered, they must set things right in Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Hi, I'm Zorianna, and I'm here with Aaron and Sean, and we're here to discuss the animated film from DreamWorks, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. We've all just seen it. I loved it. My kids loved it. Now I want to know what you guys think. Sean?
This is the rare example where I have to say the trailer leaves out the good parts.
Yes.
Because I saw the trailer and I thought, this looks horrendous. There's nothing funny about this. I don't even know why they're keeping these characters back around 50 years later. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I didn't mind the trailer. I mean, I like the film better, obviously, but I didn't find the trailer off-putting.
I didn't think the trailer was funny. I think that what the movie contains that really makes it great is missing from the trailer. There's actually a history lesson here. Kids will go in and they'll actually receive some information that's noteworthy, which I love. You don't get that in TV or in film these days for kids. It's very funny, the puns are great, and I had a great time.
Yeah, it's based off of Peabody's Improbable History segments from the Rocky and Bullwinkle Show.
Which was a history lesson.
Yes,
yep.
And the Rocky and Bullwinkle Show is wonderful, and I loved it. And this film it's great. I mean, it's a predictable story, but I forgive it because the puns are so hilarious. It's just so smart. It's so witty.
But what I liked about the script was that it was a story about a family, and that families come in all types of different ways. And it's clearly addressed here in this movie. I mean, there are consequences of a dog adopting a boy, and things happen because of that. Not everyone likes it. And I thought that was great. I thought it was very clever.
The father-son element is a very, very sweet part of the movie. I am very glad that they established the fact that Mr. Peabody actually adopted Sherman. Otherwise, I'd spend the entire movie wrapping my head around the genetics.
Right.
But I'm glad that they established that. And there's the element where this woman wants to come in and take him away, basically because she has a prejudice against that. And I think that that's a good lesson for everyone who goes to see the movie.
Yeah, your heart feels all warm by the end of it. I'm a dog, too.
The other thing that I appreciated about this film was time travel movies are always tricky. Everyone has their own idea of how time travel should be handled, and people are ready to poke holes at how time travel works or doesn't work in a movie. And what they did here was they actually had a physicist on the payroll who consulted with them to make sure that they got things correct.
Sure.
So I thought that was great.
The end, you know, the way that they get out of the climactic situation maybe is the one part of the time travel element that is a little confusing. But yeah, I mean, it's all laid out so clearly, and you don't question any of the rules. I mean, the world that they've created is very intricate but very believable, and yet you're watching a 3D animated film about a talking dog.
Greetings, men of Athens, Sparta, and Thebes. Peabody here. Kill him!
Ah! No! He's my dad. It's an adoptive relationship.
Oh. I did think that the time travel elements were probably what I maybe liked the least. The third act, there is a little bit of, well, I've seen this space-time continuum thing before in movies, and I don't necessarily care so much about us trying to put a rift in it. But by the time I got there, I'd enjoyed the first, 2/3 of it so much that it really didn't make any difference at that point.
True.
Let's talk about the voices. Normally in animation, these days anyways, they really want you to have like a high-profile cast, like the AAA level. And here I found that it wasn't necessarily an A-level cast, but it was a very suitable cast. Ty Burrell from Modern Family, he's great in this. As Peabody, he's fantastic.
Yeah, the best part of all the voice acting for me is that oftentimes in animated films, voice actors have recognizable voices or are recognizable talent, so therefore their characters sound a lot like them. And here, the voice work, the character work that they create.
The voices didn't overshadow the characters.
The actors disappear around their characters.
Yeah.
And Ty Burrell captures that Mr. Peabody voice from the original so well. He gets 2 kids movies this month with Muppets as well. I think this is a great month for Ty Burrell.
Careful, Sherman.
It's a booby trap. One wrong step and we're done for.
The boat of Raw sails straight today. Take the wrong boat, man will pay. All right, Sherman, now it's your turn.
The boat of Raw sails straight play. Pay.
Oh, my.
The director, Rob Minkoff, he directed The Lion King 20 years ago.
Oh
So 20 years later, he's back doing animation. How do we think he did?
Animation is top-notch, as you'd expect from DreamWorks Pictures. And Minkoff, I think it's clear he has a very nostalgic love for these characters from the original Rocky and Bullwinkle show, and he really brings them to life for a new generation, updates it in terms of animation. And some characters are just classic. You know, you wouldn't necessarily think that characters from back then would work in this day and age, but the way he does it, it works very well.
This is a bunch of fun, no matter what age you are, so I say see it.
We thought these characters could fall into obscurity, but this movie has its own improbable history by showing that they are classic at any time. See it.
DreamWorks nailed it. See it.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Mr. Peabody. Why didn't they go back to the Civil War and do Mr. Peabody and Sherman's March to the Sea?
Oh, Lord.
Just Seen It is made possible by Adobe and the Adobe Creative Cloud, including Adobe Premiere Pro, Photoshop, and After Effects. More information is available at bit.ly/AdobePTV.